Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome to the session today. As is the norm, before we get the speaker on the stage, a couple of minutes about the events that are coming up so that you don't miss any of them. On the 14th, we have a very interesting event, you're aware. It's about Budget 2020. Special address by Mr. Sesh Sai, Executive Vice Chairman, Hinduja Group. And the panelists, Mr. N. Ravi, Director, Kasturi & Sons, Mr. Ravichandran Purushothaman, President, India Region, Danfoss Industries India Limited, and also Vice President, MMA, Mr. Nagappan, Market Analyst. And we have the keynote address by Dr. S. Narayanan, who is the former Finance Secretary, Economic Advisor to the former Prime Minister of India. So this is the panel which is there on the 14th. Don't miss. Same time, 6 p.m., same place. Then on the 21st, we have the MMA, Indian Institute of Materials Management, a collaborative program, Spectrum 2020. It's again a panel discussion. You will get to know the details of the panelists very shortly. Just mark the date, 21st, once again, 6 p.m., same place, MMA Management Center. Then on the 28th, we have the discussion at the Bhupati and Company. Normally we do it once a month. And that also, the details of the topic will intimate you shortly. Coming to March, the first event in the month of March is on the 4th of March, the Uncommon Leader Series. This time we've featured Ms. Vinita Siddhartha. You can go back and Google her and see. She is the founder of this organization called Krida, which is actually taking a lot of interest in promoting traditional games like this, card games and board games. So she takes a lot of training, workshops, and I think she's doing a great work in promoting these traditional games so that the culture is intact. So this Palanguri and all those things. So don't miss out. That's on the 4th. On the 6th, we have a day-long conclave on corporate governance and economic value. More details you will get on mail on this. This will be a paid event, very, very highly subsidized, including the lunch and refreshments that we are going to have here. We'll intimate you very shortly. On the 9th, we have the next event, that is the 9th of March. This is a panel discussion on the theme, inclusiveness at the workplace. Moderator is Ms. Bhavani Balasubramanian, partner at Deloitte Haskins & Sells. And other panelists are going to be the principal of MOP Vaishnav College, Dr. Lalita Balakrishnan, Mr. Venkat Narayanan, who is the president, HR and IT, CSR, Rane Group, and Ms. Uma Rao, who is the vice president, HR, Ashok Leyland. 14th Saturday, we have the Women Managers Convention. This year's the theme is Dreaming Big. It is going to be held here. Last year, we have had more than 350 participants participating in this. This year also, right now, the registrations are open. It's a very, very nominal fee. We request you to register for that. It's a wonderful event once again. Fantastic lineup of speakers. You will find the advertisement possibly in the next week in the Hindu. And we will also send you the mail with all the speaker names. Prior to that, I must remind you that we also have this Outstanding Women Managers Competition. So any of you in your companies who have got young women managers, any of you in your homes who would like to take part in this competition, it's an individual event. And the last date is there till about 25th of this month. Ask them to register. The theme is very simple, Dreaming Big. And then there is an oral presentation on the 12th of March. This is followed by the Women Managers Convention. Of course, there are so many other events, but one last event I will tell before I come to today's program. 27th of March, we have Shapers of Business Institutions by R. Gopalakrishnan, former Executive Director, Tata Sons and Limited. So, you will get to know more about all these programs. That was in a nutshell so that everybody gets into the hall. Now, going ahead to the program today, I know all of you are here. There are a lot of students who are also on the way. They are coming in and we'll have this hall full in a short while from now. We have Mr. Kishan Chahal, who is a Guinness World Record holder and twice world champion in memory. The talk is all about the art of memorizing. The Memory King, Mr. Kishan Chahal, may I request you to come onto the stage, please. Proud gentlemen. And presiding over the session today is Mr. Suresh. You're all aware. He's a committee member. Sir, may I request you to come onto the stage, please. Sir, please take your seats. So all that remains for me is to introduce the chairman. I'm sure all of you know him. He's a member of MMA, well-wisher of MMA. He's been very active in MMA events. Still, I'm duty-bound to introduce him and thereafter hand over the session to him. He is an associate member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Institute of Company Secretaries of India, and a member of the Insurance Institute of India. He's got more than 3 decades of experience in finance, securities market, accounts, internal audit, and marketing. Mostly served in the financial sector and for a short while served in the media sector as well. He's held very, very senior positions: United India Insurance Divisional Manager, Vice President, Apple Credit Corporation Limited, Finance Controller and Secretary, India Cements Capital Limited. Currently, he is the President and CEO of India Cements Capital Limited and also the Director at India Cements Investment Services Limited. He is ex-Honorary Secretary of MMA, Vice President currently of the Hindustan Chamber of Commerce, past President and Director, National Board of Association of National Exchange Members of India, and ex-member of this Security Market Advisory Committee. You would have seen him very regularly in all the Tamil channels, whether it is Raj TV or Sun News or all these channels. He is an expert on financial matters. So, a warm welcome to you and to the Speaker of the Day. May I request you to take over, sir. Thank you.
Good evening to all of you. Really, it's a great pleasure today for this talk on art of memorizing. I think Wikipedia clearly says that memory is the faculty of the brain by which the data or information is encoded, stored, and retrieved when needed. So it is nothing but retention of information over the time for the purpose of influencing nothing but your future action. But Matlin has described memory as the process of retaining information over time. Others have defined it as the ability to use our past experiences to determine our future path. When they are asked to define memory, normally in normal circumstances, most people think of studying for a test or recalling where we put the car keys. I think many of you would have had an experience of night you would put some important things in some place. Morning, you are able to retrieve that particular item easily by flick of a hand. So that is what exactly the process happens. The other typical definition says that memory, the encoding, storage, and retrieval in the human mind of past experiences. Nothing but all things are getting into that. The fact that experiences influence subsequent behavior is evidence of an obvious but nevertheless remarkable activity called remembering. Memory is both as a result of and an influence on perception, attention, and learning. So the basic pattern of remembering consists of attention to an event followed by the representation of that event in the brain. Repeated attention or practice results in a cumulative effect on memory and enables activities such as skillful performance on a musical instrument or recitation of poem and reading and understanding words on a page. I think many of you would have seen even Sarkar magic show. He was expert in repeating whatever you write on the board by closing his eyes. Learning could not occur without the function of memory. That's very important. So-called intelligent behavior demands memory, remembering being prerequisite to reasoning. The ability to solve any problem or even to recognize that a problem exists depends on memory. Routine actions such as decision to cross a street is based on remembering numerous earlier experiences. So the act of remembering an experience and bringing it to consciousness at a later time requires an association which is formed from the experience and a retrieval cue which elicits the memory of experience. So I think I have given a small prelude of what is memory. Today we are having with us Mr. Kishan Chahal. He is the memory king and is the co-founder of Mirchi Networks Private Limited, New Delhi, involved in memory improvement training programs. Mr. Kishan Chahal has created a world record by memorizing the value of pi. I think most of you, in fact, I have forgotten that 22 bar 7 is the pi, up to 43,000 digits. I think please give a big hand to you. I think even computer cannot do that. I think he has done it. Mr. Kishan Chahal is world-renowned memory expert, hailed as memory king. He is 2 times world and 2 times national record holder for memory. His feats are acknowledged by Guinness Book of Records, Limca Book of Records, Record Holders Republic, Open Record Book, and Pi World Ranking. Mr. Kishan Chahal is the author of 2 best-selling books titled Art of Memorizing and Art of, I think for students also, he has written a very good book, Art of Studying Well. I am seeing some students also here. He has got more than 2 million views for his maiden TED Talk. I think TED is another platform, a supreme platform as far as the talk is concerned. So he has made an appearance on that, on memory improvement training. Mr. Kishan Chahal will be the resource person for all types of programs. I think he's an all-rounder. Please give a big hand. Before giving the floor to him, a small video clip will be played about him, so that please listen to it. Then the floor is yours, sir. Thank you.
Karnal district, a young man from here has created a world record by memorizing thousands of digits in just a few hours with 100% accuracy. Meet the man in this report.
Think of memorizing 10 mobile numbers. Seems very difficult. But Krishna Chahal, 28-year-old mechanical engineer from Karnal who can remember 43,000 digits in just 5 hours. This feat qualifies him for a name in the Guinness Book of World Records. Remembering these many digits is easier said than done. If there are more people like Krishna, there won't be need for any supercomputers.
141592653589793. I'm trying to mug up these numbers for past half an hour, but I couldn't go beyond 10 odd digits, while Krishan Chahal could memorize 43,000 pi units in 5 hours 21 minutes. This simply goes on to prove that there is no limit to human abilities, but it all depends how we use our brain faculties. In Chandigarh,
I welcome you all on this Art of Memorizing talk. We all are here because we all want to have a sharp memory. But we have this beautiful habit of forgetting things. What if we can have laser sharp memory and never forget project deadlines, and especially the birthday of your wife? Forgetting project deadline can hurt your career, but forgetting the birthday of your wife is a crime. And we all know the consequences of that. A survey tells we lose around 30 minutes every day in finding the things which we kept and forgotten. It's normal to forget a few things in your routine life, but if it is beyond reasonable, then it becomes a problem. And many of us think that we are born with a good or a bad memory, but there are plenty of evidences to prove that memory can be improved by using certain tools and techniques. So today you are going to learn a lot about your memory, but before I begin, I would like to request all of you to tell me a few digits, and I'll keep on writing them here so that we can have a long number. And for this, I would like to request Harsh sir to help me. So, I'm ready. So, tell me your ATM PIN numbers. Okay, I'll write them here. Okay, no worries. You can tell me the last 2 digits of your contact numbers. Right? Yes, sir. Please. 7-1. Okay. 2-1. Okay. It's 8-8. Right. 0-7. Okay. 7-0.
Yes, please. 7-7.
7-7. Okay.
4-9.
49.
Yes, please. 8-3.
83. Okay.
Yes. 4-0.
40.
1-0.
10.
4-5.
45. Okay.
Yes, please. 6-9.
69.
9-9.
99. Okay.
1-9.
19.
Yes, please. 4-0.
40. Okay.
9-1.
It's wait.
What are you?
After it's 9-1, right?
Yes, please. 6-6.
6.
Yes, please. 3-7.
37.
Then 9-0.
90.
9-8.
It's 98. Okay.
8-7.
87. Right.
1-9.
19.
Yes, beta. 7-5.
That's 75.
9-9.
99. Right.
5-2.
52.
0.
50. Okay.
9-6.
96. Right.
Yes, please. 2-6.
26. Okay.
2-5.
25.
6-9.
69.
7-0.
70. Okay.
Yes, please.
70.
2-7.
27. Right.
3-0.
30.
4-7.
It's 47.
Yes,
Right.
please. 3-6.
36.
7-7.
77. Right.
9-3.
93. Okay.
0-0.
00. Okay.
0-5.
And 05. Okay.
1-6.
And the last one is 16. Thank you very much, friends. Thank you. Thank you, Harsh. So now, all of you have to memorize this number. So how much time you will take? Okay, let me try to memorize it. So 7, 1, okay. Okay, it's well, friends. Well, I have memorized it. So, thank you very much. So, I hope you would like to check it also, right? Okay, so I can see it from here also. So, let me stand here. So, it will start from 7, 1 and 2, 1, 880 and it's 7749834010 and it's 4, 5, yeah, and it's 6, 9, 991940916637909887 and this is 1975995250 962625697027 and this is 30, yeah, 473677930005 and the last one is 16. Thank you friends, thank you very much, thank you. I hope you'd like to know how I could do it. Yes, so basically I was using the letter number method of art of memorizing. And to know the concepts of art of memorizing, you just need to know the learning mechanism of your brain. As you know, we have two hemispheres in our brain, dominant and the non-dominant one. And generally it's dominant is left and non-dominant is right. So both parts have different functions, like left is responsible for language, logical thinking, calculations, and right is responsible for creativity, imagination, arts of any type. So let me choose language from the left and colors from the right. So in case 1, if I'll choose language. So now all of you will read it fast and aloud, like say red, green, yellow. Read it fast and aloud, please. Good. So here you are using your left part because language is a function of your left brain. Now read these colors also. Good. So now you are using the right part because colors comes under our right brain. And now this time you are going to read the color. In third case you are going to read the color. Like first one is red, second one is green. So don't read the text, read the color. Okay, start please. Confused. This time you are confused because your left brain is telling it's blue and the right one is telling it's red. At the same time, both parts are processing different information and that's why you are confused. This is the third approach. And there's one more. Like, have you ever thought about like why we can remember songs so effortlessly? And we put too much effort to remember other information. Have you ever thought about it? Yeah, it's because of this reason, because in song, lyrics and music, and lyrics will be processed in the left part and music will be processed in the right part at the same time. Both parts will work in synchronization. So here in this fourth case, like in case of songs, like you are using your both parts of the brain together, means you are using more functions. So that is what art of memorizing is all about. You need to use the maximum functions as much as you can use while learning any type of information. Most of the time we use only associations. In our routine approach, like in our school, colleges, we use only one approach of memorizing, that is called repetition. Whatever you have to memorize, you will just simply keep on repeating it. But there are more than 15 methods of art of memorizing. For theory, you need to use KW method. For this number, I was using letter number method. Just you need to know the right approach of memorizing. So here, let me explain you one method. The first one, the basic one, is link method. So this link method is used for if you have to memorize any list, like kind of your shopping list, your to-do list. If I'll take one example of orders of the task of from the routine of a CEO, right? Like the task list in the one order, like it's a video conference, the international team, meeting executives, assistant. So they need to remember such kind of list. In this case, what you will do, first of all, make some substitute pictures of these tasks. Like here, for video conferencing, we can simply camera. For meeting with executive assistants, we can use PA, personal assistant. For checking emails, we can use the substitute picture laptop. For app, we can use mobile. So we just need some substitute pictures. And after that, use associations, imagination, and fun. So now you are going to relate all of these tasks in the order in your imagination, and it should be funny as well. Like here we can create one association, like it's a camera. So camera is looking after your PA, personal assistant, and your PA is secretly checking your laptop, right? And laptop is dancing with the mobile. Just imagine it properly. If you will not imagine, you will not be able to involve your right brain. And right brain has good retention. Associate it in a funny way, but imagination is must. So just imagine camera is looking after your PA and your PA is secretly checking your laptop. Just imagine it. And laptop is dancing with mobile. Now mobile is driving car, okay, and car is just hitting hoarding, and dollars are coming out of it. Just imagine the dollars are coming out of it like this, and your staff is just collecting those dollars, and after that hiding in the rostrum, and rostrum is shaking hand with the audience. So first of all, just recall the list. First one is camera, then PA, then laptop, then mobile, then car, then hoardings, then dollars, then yes, then handshake. And now you can simply just record it. Okay, camera stand for what? Video conferencing. And then PA for the executive meet, and then laptop for checking emails, mobile for app review, and so on. You can recall the complete task list. And there is no limit. You can memorize 20, 30, 40, 50 tasks like this. If you will just practice it once or twice, you will be able to do it without any effort. You can memorize it very fast. Well, friends, so this is the way you can memorize list very fast. Why? Because here in this approach, we were using more functions. From the right brain, we were using creativity, then imagination, fun also, and from the left brain we were using the logic. Because again it was telling us it is not camera, it is the video conferencing. Strong associations we were using. So it was not simple repetition. If you use simple repetition, you will use only one function of your left brain, that is association. But here you were using the 5 functions. That's why you were able to memorize it faster. So we need to use more functions of our brain in memorizing whatever we are. So same way we can memorize other information also, like we can easily visualize camera, laptop, but what about the abstract information like this one? We can't visualize German, we can't visualize French. So what you will do, you will just extract some meaningful information out of it. Like French, from French and bonjour, just extract some meaningful word or some image. Like from French, we can see any person with French cut beard. And bonjour, we can see like bones, and jour means like say force, jour se. And then we can imagine like be alert while giving handshake with the French cut people. Why? Because they can pull bones out of your body. So just be alert. Relate something like this. In the same way we can see like German tag. So arms means knees. You can see knees, tags. So you can simply relate like germs जब एक दूसरे को handshake करते हैं तो उनके घुटनों में tag बांध देते हैं. Guten Tag. You can relate it like this. So in the same way, you can memorize any type of information on the left and right hand side format, like countries with their capitals, with their prime ministers, with the language, currencies. You can memorize any information in this format. You can memorize the keywords of your speech as well. You can memorize the key points of your meeting as well. And same thing you can do with like, let me take one more example of companies and their founders, their CEOs, how you can memorize it very fast. Simply use the same approach, relate both of them. Extract some meaningful information out of it and then relate them. Like here in this case, you can use like Intel. Intel, you can see some chip, Intel chip you can see, and Robert Swan. So you can see Robert is robot. Robot you can see. Robot is inserting a chip inside a Swan. So now you will not forget CEO of Intel. In the same way you can relate like MediaTek, media you can see media people you can see, and it's rickshaw, it's like say rickshaw, auto rickshaw, you can see rickshaw. So you can just imagine media people are allowed to travel by rickshaw only. It should be funny, because the moment you will use the fun, your right brain will participate and you will retain it for a long time. Like Nike, Mark Parker. So you can imagine that you are using Parker pen to mark on your Nike shoes. So now it's very easy for you to recall it. If I'll ask you, like, okay, tell me MediaTek CEO. What is reminding you? Rickshaw, very good. And what about Intel? Very good. And what was after car in the to-do list? After car? Hoarding. It was a meeting with the marketing executives. Good. You can still recall it very well. So this is called link method. By this method, you can memorize any type of list, friends. I hope you are going to try your shopping list also. Good. So till now, you have learned how to relate the names with the designations. But what about the faces? What about the faces and other relevant information? So for it, we need to follow these 3 steps, friends. The first one is features of the face. Features of the face. We don't pay much attention on the faces. That's why it's very difficult for us to differentiate between the different faces. Like if you go to China, Japan, you will see all people are same. If they will come to India, they will also say the same thing. All Indians are same. But we can easily identify the faces in our own culture. So what is the problem? Problem is that we are not aware about the face features of different culture. Like for our grandparents, it's very difficult to differentiate between different mobile phones. For them, that iPhone, Android, almost all phones are same. Why? Because they are not aware about the appearance and specifications of different mobile phones. In the same way, we need to learn about the different types of face features. So for it, we need to do one small exercise. Like every day you will choose one face feature. Okay, suppose today eyes. So you need to focus on the eyes of everyone you will meet today. Just focus on the eyes so that you can come to know that how many types of eyes are there. Small eyes, big eyes, round eyes, brown eyes, black eyes. It will improve your observation regarding the face features. And after some time, your mind will start focusing on the faces in detail. So this is the first step you need to follow, features of the face. And second one is associate with outstanding features. Outstanding features. All faces are different because they have different permutation and combinations of facial features. That's why all faces are different. But every face has at least one outstanding feature. One outstanding feature. Like, what is outstanding in her face? And in his face? Nose. Right, so this is, you need to pick that outstanding feature first of all. And then, like, what is outstanding in his face? Beard. Then you need to extract some picture out of his name, like Johnny. So what is coming in your mind from this word Johnny? Like, it is reminding me Johnny Lever, comedian. Johnny Walker. Good, it's evening time. So Johnny Lever or Johnny Walker, whatever. So then you can associate with his outstanding feature. Like here, if I'll associate Johnny Lever, so associate Johnny Lever with his outstanding feature. Just imagine Johnny Lever is hanging with a lever in his beard. Next time, when you will see Mr. Johnny, immediately that picture will come in your mind. Johnny is hanging there with a lever. You will start smiling and he will feel like you are happy to see him. And you will not forget it. If suppose in future he will become clean shaven, it doesn't matter because your attention has already played its role. And attention is the mother of memory. If your selective attention is good, you will not forget anything. So here actually you are paying attention in his face. While doing these associations, you are focusing on his face. So you will remember it. Let me take one more example of her. So what is outstanding feature in her face? Forehead. Wide forehead. Wide forehead. And her name is Sweetie. Sweetie, so what picture is coming in your mind? Like it's sweets, sugar, sweets we can see. So sweets will relate, okay, sweets are coming out of her forehead. So you will not forget it now. So with this approach, you will relate the names. Now the third part. So the first one was improve your observation about face features. Second is associate the outstanding feature with the picture of name. And third is you need to condition your subconscious mind. It's the most important part. We all gather different information from the same event because our interests are different, because our observation is different, because our selective attention is different. So if we need to learn or something effortlessly, we need to change our interest as per the requirement. although we always tell us, okay, just some instructions like say, okay, this is important for you, this is not important for you, focus here, not focus here, pay attention here, don't pay attention here, but all these instructions stay that at just a surface level. These instructions don't go deep down to your subconscious mind. And we can't be always alert about all the instructions. It should come on its own. So we have to condition our subconscious mind to pay attention on the most important information, or you can say which information which matter to you most. So you need to condition your subconscious mind to pay attention without any effort. It should be a habit. For it, what you will do, you will do one 5 minutes exercise every day. Just 5 minutes exercise. Around 1 hour before going to sleep, you will recall your day routine. And here we are talking about names and faces, so you will recall the names, faces and other relevant information of all the new persons you met during the day. Like the first one, okay, his eyes were round, and second one, his nose was like say pointing. But it doesn't mean in the daytime you will say someone, hey, just let me observe your nose first, right? So recall your complete day routine and especially focus on the names and faces. Today, you will be not able to recall it in detail. Tomorrow, a little improvement will be there. But third day, the moment you will meet someone new, immediately you will receive one reminder. Please pay your kind attention on his face, names and whatever is important, because you have to answer in the night. And after 1 week, you will be surprised that you can remember almost everyone. You will not forget the names and faces. It can make you a people magnet, friends. Simply this exercise of art of memorizing will condition your subconscious mind to focus more on names and faces. So in the same way, we can apply this art of memorizing concept on every information. So here I would like to teach one more method. It's very easy, and it's called journey system. Journey system you can use to memorize any key points of any meeting, and it's for complex information as well. Like journey, you will choose one journey like from here to your office, or from your office to your friend's house. Any journey you will choose, and in that journey you need to point out 20 locations. 20 locations, like suppose from here we can start, it's a journey. So this is the first location, we can use these poles, then right side this corner we can use, then left side this temple, and then these benches, right side bungalow entry. So like this, you need to highlight 20 locations. So right now, in fact, all of you can just create some locations in your mind. Let's start from here. Let's start from here. Suppose this is your journey. From here, you are going back to your office or your college. So this is the first location, you can just imagine. This is the first location. Then second location is this exit. Third location is the main exit of the building. And fourth, you can see that entrance, road entrance. So like this, you will create 20 locations only. And in these 20 locations, you can insert any information. Like it can be, for students, it can be formulas as well. Difficult information like their derivations also, right? Or the best part is the key points of your meeting. Suppose you are in a meeting and you can't note it down everything. Suppose you are discussing something. So you can just simply use journey method to insert images of your words. Like here, I would like to begin with these simple pictures. Suppose you have to memorize a word list. The first one is this sofa, dragon, umbrella, book, and all. So you will, in imagination, you will insert the first image in the first location like this one. Then keep on traveling in your journey. Second location, you will insert the second image. Keep on walking in the journey in your imagination. Then third is umbrella. Okay, right side with the building you can see book. Okay, keep on walking in your imagination. Left side with the dustbin you can relate, okay, this plane. And right side with the trees it's flower. Then with the fire station it's parrot. And keep on walking your journey. Locations can be on the left side, right side, alternative. It's up to you. It depends upon the type of journey actually. Now you will recall it. So tell me the first picture on the left side. Sofa. Then second with the statue. Dragon. Then with the pole. Umbrella. Then right side with the building. Book. Then with the dustbin. Dustbin. Plane. Right side with the tree. Flower. Left side with the fire station. Parrot. Now you can recall all these pictures. So what you will do, you will create at least 2-3 journeys like this of just 20 locations each. And then you can insert any information. Any information you can insert in it. Like right now what I was doing with these numbers, I was using this journey method. I was creating the pictures of the numbers, like for 1 you can use sun, for 2 you can use shoe, for 3 you can use tree, 4 door, 5 wife, 6 week, 7 heaven, and so on. So in this way you can create pictures of numbers and then you can insert them in the locations. In your imagination you will travel in the journey and you will be able to recall the complete list of the pictures. And these pictures will have different meaning for you, right? For students, these pictures can represent formulas. For you, it can represent your key point of the speech. It's up to you. So with this approach, you can memorize any type of information. And not even this, you can memorize things number-wise also. Like sometime you have to memorize in order also. Okay, so if I'll just show you this text. Okay, all of you will just memorize this sentence, please. A black cat is running after a tiger to kill it. Done? You have memorized 37 letters. And now memorize this number as well. Only 20 digits, almost half. Numbers are difficult to memorize. Why? Because they are not in pictures, they are abstract, they are not meaningful. But if I'll ask, what is the meaning of meaningful? Pictures, how we associate. Okay, good. Okay, so if I'll be precise, meaningful means if you can experience any information with your 5 senses, it's most meaningful. If you will experience it with 4 senses, it's less. If you can experience it with only 1 sense, like music you can only listen, then it's least meaningful. If you can't experience it with any of the sense, then it's abstract. Like if we'll talk about the black cat, you can see black cat. You can see black cat. You can hear black cat. You can touch black cat. You can smell black cat. You will not, but you can. Just want to experience black cat with your 5 senses, but you can't experience numbers. if I'll write here any number, like say if I'll write here 4, so you can't experience any number here. You can only read them. You can only read them, nothing. You can only read numbers. You can't touch numbers. You can't hear them. You can't smell them. It's ink. So, if you want to memorize numbers, you need to make them meaningful. And how you will make them meaningful? Like this word black cat. This word black cat was also meaningless for us until and unless we have not assigned this black cat means this wala pet animal, जिसे हम बिल्ली कहते हैं. So this CAT cat word was also meaningless for us, like now F for UR 4 is meaningless for us. This CAT cat word is now meaningful because of this pet animal only. So today, if you want to make your numbers meaningful, then you need to learn how to experience these numbers with your 5 senses. So how we can do it? It's very simple. Assign some pictures to your numbers. Assign some pictures to your numbers, and to assign these pictures, you can follow any logic. Like if I'll say, okay, for 1, we can take this pen because the shape is same. For 2, we can take this projector. For 3, we can take a laptop. For 5, we can take car. But there should be any logic for it. So there can be different ways to like generate pictures. So here I would like to use this rhyme method. Like to generate pictures, you can use rhyme. You can compare the sound of numbers. Like for 1, it can be bun, hun, nun, sun. Anything. Use the most dynamic word. I think sun is okay. For 2, you can use shoe. 3, tree. So all of you will speak with me because we need to create rhymes. Okay, so like this. This is okay. So this is like say 1 sun. 2, shoe, 3, tree, 4, door, 5, wife, 6, weeks, 7, heaven. So after 7, you will memorize it in next chunk, because in psychology there is a term called magic number. So if you have to memorize something, break it in the chunks of 7 plus minus 2 only. Don't go beyond that. So after reaching 7, you will just recall it once, and then you'll memorize next chunk, then next chunk. And then you can use this chunk of information to memorize anything number-wise. Suppose you have to memorize presidents of India number-wise, or you have to memorize the turnover of your company, first year turnover, second year turnover, third year, or you have to memorize per capita income, country-wise, the first number 1, number 2, number 3. So simply, you will create these images and then you will associate the picture of that information with the number. So by this approach, you can use art of memorizing concepts to memorize any type of information. It has no boundaries, friends. The simple concept is you need to use more functions of your brain with the help of these methods. Well, I hope you enjoyed the session. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your kind attention and time. Thank you. Sir, please. Yeah.
I think he rightly said that in order to masterize the art of memory, rather memorizing, there must be some tools. In fact, he explained the link method, and he used a very strong sentence. Attention is the mother of memory. I think focus. You have to see each and every aspect before your eyes, with your eyes, and link it. It is easy for you to associate. Then he talked about a journey system. At least 3 journeys you should have, 20 points from each journey, then make it. And he explained that numbers are abstract. I mean, other cat and other things you can feel and you can touch, you can see, and all these things possible. All five senses can be possible. Whereas numbers are abstract, so naturally, in order to remember numbers, you have to associate. And finally, he talked about rhyme method also, to remember in sequential manner by assigning some pictures to those numbers. I mean, sounding similarly. One means sun, like that he was explaining, four, door, like that. So, I think I want to share with you one experience which I heard with the magician Sarkar. In fact, I was doing BSc mathematics at that time. In Madurai it happened. He called some students to the stage also to test his memory. I, being a math student, I thought Mr. Sarkar may not be knowing the math formula. So I simply returned that integration of sin x. Actually, his eyes are folded with all this stuff, it is stuffed one. He can't see even. He can't see anything. So I'm writing on the board, integration of sin x. You won't believe, within few seconds, he returned the answer as minus cos x. But actually, it doesn't end there. Finally, he said, Mr. Suresh, you failed to write integration of sin x dx. See that? That's what I'm saying. See, caliber like Mr. Kishan, I mean, we have to appreciate, please, big hand.
Thank you.
I mean, memory, this type of art of, memorizing is very, very useful, particularly to the students in the time of writing exams or calling. Not only that, in fact, he easily identified for our daily routines, whenever you do something, similarly when you go for a speech, to remember your point of speech. Easily he has today taught us a simple methodology. I think it will be useful. Now the floor is for the question and answers, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Mr. Krishan,
Please.
I am M. Ganesh. This program was quite good. In fact, I wish to recall about 20 years back, I did a similar memory test of 50, and the blackboard was 50 numbers and 50 items were there. So after seeing for about 5-10 minutes, then they asked me what the number relates to which item, or the number item to number. So like that, capture about 49 items in that time. But now, as the aging happens, this is what I want to know. Does really memory shrinks or fades, or why you are not able to remember? You say, no, people forget, they say, I am now aged. Is it really a thing happening, or is it possible to keep that memory strong and healthy, even irrespective of any age? Thank you.
Thanks for a good question. It's a very common question. I hope all of you are waiting for that. So, see, like for a soldier, there are two things are important. First of all, his physical fitness. And second is kind of weapons he's using. So physical fitness has its own role to play and weapons has its own role. So these methods are like weapons, tools, and physical fitness is about your natural memory. No doubt, aging will affect, but not up to that extent like most of us think. If you are physically fit, you can walk, so till that time, you no need to worry, because our brain is very intelligent. It will absorb all the minerals, vitamins, and it will just keep the first chunk with it. So brain is not going to suffer until and unless your body is okay. So as far as aging is concerned related to memory, I don't believe it has much effect. You can say 5-10% until and unless you don't have any degenerative disease like say Alzheimer and all. But these tools, if someone is of even 90 years, 100 years, and if they will use these methods, they can still perform very well. First reason is we are conditioned again that we think, okay, now we are 70 plus, so our body is not fit that much, so our memory will also not respond in the same way. It is not true. It all depends upon our habits actually. Suppose after theories. Why? Because we are ignorant to it now. Few people, they are very good at memorizing road maps and they are not good at memorizing names and faces. Why? Because they have conditioned their observation, their focus more on road maps and not to focus more on the names and faces. So as we grow, our priorities changes. We start focusing more on our families and businesses and not on our health. So if you will condition your subconscious mind, then you can really have good memory till last.
Is there any special exercise for improving the memory, particularly age-related issues? Because
Same exercise that I told, like I told, you have to spend around 5 minutes complete day routine. Here I was talking names and faces, but this exercise will work on each and everything. Suppose I'm a student, and for me, what is important? For me, important is my books. So I will recall my contents. So I'll recall it in this way. Okay, what was the contents of my lecture 1, first lecture, then what I learned in the second lecture, then in third lecture, then a tuition, and so on. If I'm working, I'll recall, okay, what was the problems of today's problems, what was the remedies, like names of the people, calls I received, balance sheet, and all this. Whatever is important for you, recall that around 1 hour before going to sleep. And you need to spend only 5 minutes a day. Suppose you are feeling that your memory is not good in road maps, focus more on the road maps. If you feel that your memory is not good for names and faces, focus more on names and faces while recalling your day routine. So today you will be not able to recall in detail. Tomorrow a little improvement will be there, but third day, the moment you will attempt that task, your mind will give you a pop-up. Please pay your attention on road maps because you have to answer in the night. This is somewhere, this exercise is actually sending the suggestions in depth to your subconscious mind. If you directly tell yourself, okay, I have to pay more attention on names and faces, I have to pay attention on theory, your conscious mind will become a hurdle and it will not allow to pass this suggestion to the subconscious mind. It will become a hurdle. But this exercise will bypass that logical factor, and it's a kind of backdoor entry of the suggestion to your subconscious mind. From third day, your mind will start paying attention on that particular information. Please, sir. Sir, yeah.
You said something about letter number method that you used. That's what you said, if I remember right.
Okay.
I'd like to know just briefly, what was the picture that you had meant to remember all the 80 together in sequence? Could you just explain that?
Right, sir. No. I'm telling 1 for sun, 2 for, right? Same way, we can use letters and digits. We correlate digits the letters. For example, for 1, we can take T. For 2, we can take N. For 3, we can take N. And we ignore vowels so that we can words easily. Like for tin, T-I-N, it can be converted into 12. T is 1, I is nothing because it's vowel, N is 2. So tin stands for 12. So by using this correlation, you can easily convert any number into images. The images of the number, you can use link method that we used in task list. For higher accuracy, go for the journey method, I told you. So I was using journey method and the letter number method for it.
Sir, I was going to ask you, right here,
Please, sir.
the number which you recalled in the beginning, what method did you use? And can you recall that number again now?
Of course. Please.
Can you tell us how you managed to recollect that number? What technique you used?
Let me just okay. Right. Switch off. Okay? So, but this time, I would like to recall it in the, oh, it's not working. No, but how you will check it?
No, for you.
How you will
For you.
Yes. Okay. So this time let me try to recall it in the reverse order. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So it will start from 61500 3977637403720796. It's 52 and 6269, and this is 052599, and it's 5791, and it's 7889. 09, and it's 73661904919996, 540104, and this is 3894. This is 770770, and it's 8812, and the last one is 17.
Whoa!
Thank you. Thank you very much.
What is the magic behind how we are able to say that?
Sir, this magic you can also do. There is no difference in my memory and yours one. Difference is only one. I know how to use art of memorizing, and you have to know this is the only difference. My senior most student is of 85 years. He can perform faster than me.
Limited by time.
Yes. So, we are limited by time, otherwise...
Any other question?
Please.
1 minute, one at a time.
See, eyes are, there are two reasons for closing the eyes. First one, few people, they will see, okay, maybe there's some mirror because the glass is also there. So you can also see in the reflection, right? And another reason, the genuine reason is, if you'll close your eyes, distraction will be less. Distraction will be less, and you will be able to go in the depth. But I don't suggest to students to practice this approach. Why? Because I have to only recall, I'm speaking. If I have to write this number, and if I'll practice it in, like say, this manner, so my mind will be trained, and then I'll be not able to write it. That's why a few students, what they do, in like during practice recall at their home or school, they will close their eyes, and now they are recalling it. Okay, but in exam, they have to write it with open eyes. And because of this reason, they will fail to recall in the exam. And this is a very, it's a very small point, but it makes huge difference. So, if you know you can recall it while closing eyes, then practice it. Otherwise, your eyes should be open for the final recall, especially for the students. Sir? Sir, it's my, like say, hobby. So professionally I'm doing it from last 16 years, but it doesn't matter. Like say, sometime few people, they will have excuse, okay, sir, you are doing it from the last 15 years, so that's why you are able to do it very fast. But believe me, if you will try this approach within 3 days, you will come to a very good level. Within 1 week, you will reach at least 80% of my speed and accuracy, and you can go beyond me in the next 10 days, and that I'll feel very happy if my students, they will perform better than me. Please. Very good question. See, if you will just recall it before sleep, then there will be some disturbing thoughts, because throughout the day you may have encountered some bad experience also. So that if you will just recall before sleep, then it may disturb your sleep. That's why I'm telling, just recall it 1 hour before sleep, so that you will be come to that neutral level if you will recall some bad memories of the day, because forgetting is a bliss also, right? If you will not forget, that you will be not able to memorize.
Is it possible to remember the names also?
Of course.
Suppose there are some people here, 50 peoples.
Yeah.
Each one tells his name one by one.
We can try.
Can you tell accordingly that
We
name
can,
again?
we can try. We can try.
To remember names, I put them in alphabetical order. So I
No, one by one
No,
only
no.
he'll tell the names.
alphabetically I arrange them, names.
No, sir. Alphabetical order is not like, no. Writing in alphabetical order is like, say, organizing the information. It's a different approach. Before memorizing, like say, before eating, it's cooking, like say. If you will organize any information, then you will be able to memorize it easier. But it doesn't mean that you can replace the methods of art of memorizing. Right. Please, sir.
One last question. Who wants to ask? That gentleman. I think he there, I think.
It was a very fantastic session. Today, many people are using a lot of gadgets.
Yeah.
Will frequent use of gadgets, actually have become inevitable. Will frequent use of gadgets, regular use of gadgets, right from kids to old age people, will it affect our memory skills?
See, I appreciate technology, but over-reliance on technology is not good. But as far as, like, say, that this question is concerned, like, is it affecting our performance? I'll say no. It is only changing our priorities. Like nowadays, we are not memorizing phone numbers. Why? Because our phone books are there. Suppose if I'll memorize phone numbers, I have to press my keypad 10 times to dial a number. And now I'll just press it once or twice and automatically it will come. And the same amount of energy and attention I'm going to spend on the other important task. So it is only changing the priorities, but actually it is serving us. Please, sir. Definitely. See, there is no replacement for the meditation. This is the best thing, this is the best exercise for your mind and body. And actually, it will help you, meditation will help you at 2 points. Number one, it will develop your attention. You will be able to hold your attention at one point for a long time. And this is the crux of every learning. So these are two approaches. One with the mind, that supports psychology, that supports medical science, and another is beyond mind, that is meditation. So sometimes these both contradicts. But my personal experience is meditation has far more benefits and it is very useful if you can learn it properly, if you can use it properly. See, our brain is related diagonally with our body. Right, so like my right side of the brain is like, say, controlling the left part of the body. And vice versa. But this is not always the dominant one, non-dominant one. Right is mostly, it's a non-dominant part. Right is a non-dominant, but not always. It's like, sir, both hands are similar. Both hands are similar, but functions are different. So both parts are same. There's no difference at structure level, but the functional difference is there. So sometimes this part is dominant, sometimes this part is non-dominant. It depends upon a lot of factors. Yes, sir.
2 books he has written.
The latest one are 2. So Art of Memorizing and Art of Studying Well. Art of Memorizing is for methods, how to memorize any type of information, and Art of Studying Well is how to study, when to revise, how to retain things for a long time, how much we have to study. It's more about, like, say, studies and students.
Mr. Kishan Chal, I think.
So, okay. No, sir. Its question is, please rephrase. Okay. Okay, sir. It was my hobby. I was equally interested in mind and machines. So, during graduation, I did mechanical engineering because I was equally interested in that. But later on I realized that mind has more possibilities. So, and now I'm using both of them. So my engineering is supporting me to give one touch of that details and technicalities. So now mind and memory both are like these machines, and mind both are, I'm using my both graduation and post-graduation for it.
Yeah, today,
Sorry? Sir, not it was my somewhere self-learning actually. It was my hobby. I started learning in very early age. When I was in 5th standard, I started reading about meditation, mind, right? Memory is my second interest.
thank you, sir. I think Mr. Kishan Chahal made a very good program. Please give a big hand.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman, Mr. Suresh, and thanks, Mr. Chahal, for this lovely session we had today. I think all of our members have become much more, they can remember a lot of things now. I think they all remember the next programs of next month. Now we don't have to send SMS. So thank you for giving us those tricks. He's available for some more time. I know a lot of questions were there. We couldn't take everything because the time was the constraint. Please interact with him after this session immediately, and he'll be able to, interact with you guys. So, sir, as a member of, as a token of affection from our side, please accept. This one we are giving you because when you go and plant it, you will remember it forever. Your memory, it will be there. This is given there. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Get back home safe. Good night. We'll meet on 14th again.